Hi guys, it's Rachel here. I am here to do the 10 Crafty Questions challenge. Accepted. I was tagged by Amy from Crafty Cat USA and also Terri Rankin, so I thought I will accept the challenge and answer the questions. So the first question is, what is your name? My name is Rachel Jane Roxburgh. I was born in Sydney in 1970. Yep, oldie. And I grew up in Sydney, and it's one of my favourite places in the whole world, and I never wanted to leave Sydney, but I did go on holidays for a while. I took a bit of time off after university, and I went to Florence at the beginning of '93, and I met my husband, and that was that. So we did go back and live in Sydney for a little while. For about 4 years, and he loved it, but he's an only child and he'd never worked in Italy. His first job was as an architect, was in Australia, and so he had a bee in his bonnet. He had to come back, and you know, I thought I better say yes, so we came back, and I think I cried for about 10 years, but I've just stopped crying a few years ago. So I think I'm very alone over here. I do have friends, but they're not like my friends in Australia. And, you know, you get busy when you're older. So we do message each other and follow each other and stuff, but we don't get to chat as often. I see my friend in London. She grew up with me in Sydney a little bit, and we're probably more in contact than with the other ones. But then I see them when I go back to Australia. I just hang out with my friends. It's like we were never apart, but you do miss them. I have friends here, but we don't, they're not the kinds of friends, I don't know, it's not the same. Anyway, I won't go on. Anyway, how did you come up with your YouTube channel name? Well, the name was just brought over from the blog and my Etsy shop, and my sister created the blog in 2008. I think it was about then, and she really did it just, I didn't even know what a blog was, but she did it because I had started creating things, and so she did it so we could share what we were doing with each other. And we, you know, she thought, and then she'd post what Mum was doing and that sort of thing. And then she had opened an Etsy account under Roxy Creations, but it was just to purchase supplies. I didn't even know what Etsy was either. And so I was able to she gave me the login, and I purchased supplies there as well. Just gave my credit card and my address, and that's basically what we were using Etsy for. And then about a year later, when I had sort of been sewing quite a bit longer, my sister said, "Why don't you turn the Etsy account that we're using to buy things into a shop?" And so I did that. And so then when it started to take off a little bit, she separated herself from the shop and became Roxy Creations by Sarah. But we still share the blog, but my sister didn't, she doesn't post much, and I haven't posted anything for quite a long time either. But for consistency's sake, I brought over the name Roxy Creations to the YouTube channel. And Roxy came about because my sister played rugby for a long time, rugby union, and all of her teammates called her Roxy. So that's where it came from, and we're all Roxys because we're all Roxburghs, and so it became Roxy Creations. What is your favourite type of craft? Well, I am traditionally a sewer, and I love fabric. I love textiles, so probably my favourite craft is sewing. I don't get to do it as often as I would like. The type of sewing that I really enjoy is the slow stitching. So this is the needle book that I made in my course, and for my course, and it's all hand stitched, and I just love doing it. I find it really relaxing, but I don't enjoy doing any craft when I'm tired. So that's what is happening at the moment, is that I'm quite tired at night, so I don't get that much done. But I have all kinds of different little projects here that have all been hand stitched and have not been completed. So just to give you an idea, this is what I really like doing, this sort of thing, like that. Okay, and Mum does a lot of that now too. What is your favourite place to shop for craft supplies? My favourite place to shop for craft supplies. Okay, my shop around the corner, it's a big Hot Mess, that shop, because it's really a hardware store, kind of everything store. You can buy cutlery and plates and detergents and any type of hardware that you might need. But also it has a crafty section out the back, a big room. They hold courses, not my type of courses, but they hold courses. They're a bit, I think they're a bit still in the, they're not up to date sort of crafts, if you know what I mean. They're a bit old fashioned. But they do have some good supplies there, like lots of felts, and they have the papers as you see, and some napkins, not that many, and they have, a fair amount of stamperia, although stamperia is Italian. As you know, they're from Torino, but they moved their headquarters to Eastern Europe because it's cheaper labour there, and they've told them they are now focusing, lucky Americans, they're focusing their efforts towards America because it's a bigger market. And so it's very hard for some Italian sellers to get their products. They always serve them last, which is just crazy. So yeah, they have trouble getting their stuff. But they do have some. So I also like to shop on Etsy. Etsy is my favorite place to shop, really, because you can buy everything in one spot. You can buy your fabrics, you can buy your papers, you can buy, threads and all kinds of interesting things on Etsy, and you don't have to remember a million different websites because, well, you did even a little bit on Etsy in the past, but now they've got the notifications that tell you when people have new things in their shops, so it always reminds you, especially the active shops, when they've got something new. And I really, for someone like me that has a memory like a sieve, I really enjoy being able to go and purchase many different things in one spot. I love supporting also the small businesses. Unfortunately, there are some sellers that I really liked that have now got their own website, and I can't, just learning to navigate a new website, and I can't remember to go there and visit. Unfortunately, I don't buy as much from them unless they pop into my head for some reason. So I hope my favourites don't go off Etsy. I know Etsy is a bit naughty now that they've floated themselves, but I hope that, some of my faves stay there. And then the other place I like to buy is Amazon. Amazon, I like to buy basic papers. I have to buy my Tim Holtz papers there. There's nowhere here where I don't think they've even heard of Tim Holtz in my area. So I buy that on Amazon, and it's not bad, the price. And, I buy vintage books. You can buy vintage books. Like I bought this the other day on Amazon. Susan Taylor Brown did her wonderful series. Thank you, Susan. And she showed this book. So yeah, I buy those sorts of things on Amazon, and you can get them for quite a good price. I can't find everything on my Italian one. Sometimes I have to go to the UK one. I bought these on Amazon the other day that I absolutely love. I never saw brown doilies before. They're totally recycled. Sort of craft paper colour doilies. Aren't they fabulous? I just love those. And, basic papers and stuff like that I get on Amazon, inks, that sort of thing. There was another place I like to buy stuff. Oh, I like going to the art store up in San Marino when I go and meet my husband for lunch. I buy papers there, and they've got, Pitt pens and Tombos and that sort of stuff if you want that sort of thing. And I like going to my supermarket. I can buy my little mini plastic envelopes there for storing things, and they've got recycled, lovely, the green grid paper comes from there, and, all that sort of thing. Oh no, that's that one. That was number 4. Number 5, top crafty YouTube channels. Now, this is a tough one. This is very tough because I don't have, well, I do have tops, but I'm not going to go through my tops because I really do like everybody that I watch. I do. I mean, I couldn't give you 5. I'd have to give you many. But some of them are Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah, Wendy from Wendy's General Adventures, Amity from Amity Bloom, Luna Rosu. I watch Charlette Peterson. I watch Martha Manigros, is that right? I watch, who else do I watch? I watch everybody. I watch Sammi Jarrad. She's just started her channel. I watch Amy from Crafty Cat. I watch Nick the Booksmith. I watch all of the big ones. Oh, and I love Laurie Girl on the Ridge. I even watch Creative Cafe Girl. I love My Cottage Crafts or My Craft. Yeah, My Cottage Crafts. Oh, there's so many. I follow so many people, and I do try to watch all of the videos. Sometimes it might be something that's not, what I'm into, so I might fast forward it. I am guilty of that. But in general, like Tina, I'll watch, I just let the video go. I love Gail Agostinelli, obviously, you know that. I'm a huge fan. And I'll watch her videos, even though I might not be doing that sort of thing. I'll watch all of it. You never know what you pick up. Patricia Viramontes. I mean, the list could go on, and I apologize for whomever I've forgotten on the fly, but I really, a lot of you know that if I've subscribed, I'm watching. So yes, that's why I've got a watch list of 300 videos to watch, because I can't keep up with it. Because I save everything. I save everything into my watch list, and eventually I watch it. Okay. So 6 favorite colors. Well, I don't really have one favorite. I think one of my favorites is this beige, not beige, linen. These colors, love these colors. Love blues like this, greeny blues, turquoisey blues, aqua blues. They would probably be my favorites. These colors in here, those sorts of bluey greens, I love those kinds of greens. And then all of these pastel colors I absolutely love. So I can't really give you a list of colours because it's really everything. I do have colours I don't love, like red. I don't love red, and I don't love orange or yellow. However, I like that red. That's a pinky red. I like pinky reds. This is more of an orangey red. I don't mind it like that, but I wouldn't like a big expanse of it, if you know what I mean. And there are some yellows that I like. I like the yellowy straw paper, this kind of mustardy sort of yellow, and I like some oranges as well, just burnt oranges, but not the bright ones. Number 7, favorite tools to craft with. Okay, favorite tools to craft with, well, scissors, of course, cutting mat, both my metal rulers, I think metal all the way. This is a Stamperia, and this one is a Joy Crafts from Amazon. They're both fabulous. I also love my Giotto glue. As you know, it sticks everything, those who watch me. And I love my PVA glue, which is a Vinaville glue, a white glue. For those who don't know what PVA glue is, I think we might call it that in Australia. I'm not sure about other places. What else do I love? I love my Japanese screw punch, this one. This is not Japanese, this is a German one, but I had a wooden one, but I didn't buy an expensive one. And so I just wanted to open it. I opened it before. I can't open it. Oh, there we go. It's got the other... You can do bigger holes with it as well. I had a wooden one, but it fell apart. So this one's been really good. It'll probably fall apart now next time I use it. And then of course I love my scraps. I love my fabrics. I love my old papers. So I love to have a basket of scraps just sitting there. I love my old papers, book pages, antique books, anything old, and you've got me. And I also love this. This is great. The tab punch, that's fantastic, especially now that the lovely, I'm having a blank, 49 Dragonflies showed me how to use it, because I wasn't using it properly. And then I also love these. I want to use those more, the wax seals. I absolutely love those. They're some favourite things. Where did you get your crafting love from? Well, that is easy to answer. That came from Mum, and probably... also from my aunt. So when I was little, Mum started off with pottery. She had a kiln, and a pottery wheel, and I can remember her doing that. And I can remember having a go at it too, and my thing was very wobbly. I was only little. And then she moved on to weaving, and she used to make these big, huge weavings. Like, she had the biggest frame you can imagine. And she did these, I could just remember it was in the 70s, so it was big brown fluffy things that she made with things hanging out. And even companies in Sydney, some big companies in Sydney, bought them and put them in their conference room. So she was pretty chuffed with that. And then she moved on to patchwork and made us all patchwork quilts. And then of course my granny, let's not forget Mum's mum, she was a knitter. She knitted amazing stuff and crochet. She made us those beautiful crochet blankets. Yeah, and I can remember doing bits of sewing at Granny's house. And so I think Mum is the number one. And then Mum moved on from the patchworking to doing embroidery, and she did a lot of ribbon embroidery, but then she started doing this sort of, she still does monograms. She really does really great monogramming. She was monogram obsessed for a while. So this is a beautiful pillow. I think she made this one for Lulu. And she likes to get them made with the piping and stuff like that. Very professionally done. So Mum does that sort of thing. And then she started doing the stump work. So this is a blanket that she made for Lulu about 14 years ago, because she brought it over when Lulu was born. There's a bit of thread. This is typical of Mum. She doesn't end off her things properly, and you've always got threads hanging out, and she doesn't even finish them. You've got her drawings on there and stuff that, but, I mean, we can't complain. I mean, look at that. Look at the detail. Look at the little bees and the ladybugs and the knots, and it's all raised and textural, and she's used all different threads, and it's just incredible. And I'm going to show you the basket. Look at that basket, and it's got the silk ribbon in there, and the basket, she wove that, and this is all incredible as well. So yeah, that's Mum did that for a while. Now this is a pattern. This is a pattern from an Australian lady, but I can't remember what her name is. My herbal tea's gone cold now. And then Mum came over when Lulu was maybe 3 or 4. And, she started off, before she did that embroidery, she did crewel embroidery as well with the Appleton wool. She did a lot of that. Then when she came over when Lulu was about 3 or 4, and I'd found this lady called Jude Hill, Spirit Cloth, and I did her course called Whispering Hearts, and I made one and I gave it to Mum. And then Mum came and did the course when she was here, and she absolutely loved it. And this just totally changed Mum's life, because rather than just embroidering from patterns, it just seemed to release her creativity. She's gone from doing this to doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but really, really beautiful. And I wish I could show you more of her stuff, but I've only got a limited amount here. But she wanted me to make this into some sort of, I think I make it into a drawstring bag. But she puts fluffy bits everywhere, and she loves using antique Japanese fabrics, boro and kimono fabrics, and then shibori dyeing as well. But Mum also loves antique English and French fabrics, and so she'll go all soft and pastel-y like this as well. So she can do both. I'll just show you. That one was a bit plainer. I think she gave me that just to do something with. I don't remember what. Oh, here's another one of the hearts that she did. But she has things all coming out of her work now, and it's all very, very creative. And sometimes she goes simple like this, but the stitching is incredible. So, and she loves hand-dyed fabrics and all that sort of thing. So that's Mum. And then my aunt, now my dad's sister, she is amazing. She was typical in this, I think she got married in the 60s, I expect. And she's in her 70s now. And she's very creative. And she, I'll leave that there for you to look at it. She is she's one of those people that you go to her house and you just feel totally inspired but blocked at the same time, because she's so amazing. You just you just don't know what to do. So she does everything. She paints. She's an amazing sewer. She does everything. And I'll just show you what I've got. I've only got one thing of hers. This beautiful tassel. Look at this. So she wrote 2 tassel books, and this one has been hand painted. And then she made all of these. This is a chenille, but she made all of these pom-poms, and she made the rope. And she traveled around the world teaching how to make beautiful tassels. And I actually even did her tassel course, and but they're all different. Like some of them are embroidered, some of them are painted, some of them, they're just all different. She had all these different ways, and she had these 2 books, and basically you could flip. There was the bottom part, the middle part, and the top part, and you could flip, and you could mix and match them. So that's my aunt. But if you went to her place, you'd just be there soaking it all up, because it's amazing with all the beautiful things. So that's where the craftiness comes from. And what's the next question? It's very long chitter chatter here. I'm feeling a bit tired. Number 9, when did you start crafting? Well, I started with cross stitch when I was young, and I did all those little cross stitch things. I probably got some up there, but I didn't pull them down, so I won't get them now. I did cross stitch, and then I didn't do anything at school. I didn't think that I had a creative bone in my body. I didn't even do art for my last few years of the HSC, which is the high school certificate in Australia with the final year exams. And then when I went to live in Australia with Steffi, well, I discovered that I loved antiques and art when I lived in Florence, and I studied antique trade and marketing, and I wanted to go and work in an auction house, but obviously there was no work. And then I went to Australia and I started painting, oil painting. I fancied myself as a painter, not very good, but I had fun trying to teach myself to do that. And then when I came back here, I did a little bit of painting, but then when I had Lulu, that was a bit hard. And so Mum bought me a sewing machine because I fancied making things for Lulu, and but I had no idea. And so I stared at the sewing machine for about a year, and then I took courage and tried to make a bag, and then I started making things for Lulu like this. This is really bodgy, but I made this pillow that was on her bed. She loved it, and I think there were 2. I don't know where the other one is. And so then I started making things quite a bit for kids. I did a lot of growth charts and that sort of thing. And then I just sort of discovered journals maybe about 2 years ago, and I didn't know what they were. And I just started I think I might have found them on Pinterest, and just started sort of mucking around on the internet, and I found YouTube, and then I started my YouTube channel last year in mid-April. So I've been really amazed and thankful for the great response that I've had on YouTube. I just can't believe it. It's just like unbelievable. I didn't even think anybody would watch my channel, but I think we're all a bit like that. We're all a bit insecure. So that's how I sort of started. I started really around 2008, probably really sewing and doing things and publishing things on the blog and that sort of thing. And if you go back, don't do it. Don't do it. It's embarrassing. But if you went right back to 2008, you'd have a bit of a giggle. You could see exactly what I was doing in the very beginning. My phone is about to run out, so I better chug a lug. And then, what has been your favourite craft? My favourite craft is hand stitching, but I am now loving also mixing the paper with the fabrics and using all of the old materials. So that will develop, I think, with time. I'm only fairly new at it. People don't believe me, but I am. I've only been at it for about 2 years now. So that is it. So now I need to tag. Oh gosh, that was long. I'm going to tag 3 people. And don't kill me, ladies, but we'd like to hear more from you. I'm going to tag Wendy from My Journal Adventure, Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. I don't know if they've already been tagged. And I'm going to tag the lovely Charlette Peterson. I'd love to hear more about you, ladies. So thank you for listening. I hope that's been enlightening for you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.